Hope that's okay. I guess I want to first off start with how at home I feel in this community. I love being able to learn with everyone and sharing with everyone the different ways that we're figuring out how we can use AI in our business. We started this group earlier this summer with less than 100 members. I just created the Facebook group because I wanted to see if there are other people like me that liked geeking out about it. It turns out there are a lot more other people. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. We're almost at 10,000 members, and it's really been a blast and a privilege to be able to share in this learning process with all of you. Today, we're going to be talking about Canva's AI tools, and we have a lot to cover. So in today's Zoom, what I want to do is briefly mention why we're here, what this group is for, and then I'm going to get into Canva AI. And at the end, and I'll have to keep an eye on the time, I have two little routines that I think will be a learning experience for everyone that I think will help everyone get a little bit more comfy about how you can actually use AI in your business. So at the end of today's little call, what I'm going to do is step through two step-by-step processes of how you can use ChatGPT and DALL-E and Canva in your real estate business to get stuff done. And a lot of the stuff that we're doing is content creation. Content is king, right? So thank you again for joining us. Let's talk about Canva AI. Oh, and I do want to know, for those of you who are joining live, if you don't mind dropping in the chat where you're from, how long you've been using AI, the tools that you're using primarily. I know that everyone that's here wants to get to know each other and what's going on in this world and how others are using the tech. So share so that we can all learn from you. And for those of you that are new here, this is one of our weekly Zoom calls where we discuss basically anything under the sun AI, especially as it relates to real estate. The way we kind of look at, we have two weekly Zoom calls, one's on Thursday, one's on Friday. Our Thursday calls, so this call kind of loosely follows this format of leveraging AI. So we're taking what we've learned and then we're leveraging it to do something in our business. The calls just roughly follow that sort of guideline. Friday is a little bit more of a learning-based activity on Friday. So people come with questions. It's a question and answer, a little more casual, but we usually have a focus. So as we develop this group and as this group moves forward into 2024, we plan on having a little bit more structure with the content that we're providing on Thursdays and Fridays. And a lot of that's just sort of guided by what we're all working on. So if you run into something cool that you learn and you want to talk about it or to get other people's feedback on it, this is the place to do it. Today's a little bit atypical because what we're doing is I'm going to be doing more presenting than I normally do. I don't really like presenting. I like kind of really truly sticking to the workshop and masterminding of using AI and ChatGPT, for example, in the business. So yeah, if you don't mind, drop in the chat where you're from, how long you've been using AI and what tools you use primarily in your business. And if it's nothing yet, that's totally okay. We're all here to learn something. So even if you're not an advanced daily user of ChatGPT and you're here just to figure out how you can kind of get your toes wet with the tech and specifically using AI and Canva's new Magic Suite, I think this is going to be a really, really good time. So if you're joining, this is going to be rather visual today, and I'm going to do my best to show you what's new with Canva AI, how to find it, how to use it. We'll step through some examples. And then again, I want to go over some real world, like how do I actually use this tech in my business this afternoon? So when you get off the call, you can go play around and actually do something in your business. All right, let me check to make sure that we've got everybody in the call that's here so far. Perfect. So Canva AI. Many of us already use Canva like on a daily basis, if not weekly basis in our business. It's been around for about 10 years. It's an amazing design suite, design tool. They have reportedly about 135 million users. So Canva is a behemoth in the design world. My foray introduction into Canva was just purely because of real estate. I needed to make newsletters or flyers for open houses. And so that's when I started using Canva back in 2016 when I first started in real estate. Reportedly, about 85% of the world's largest companies are using Canva, and it's clearly not just for making flyers anymore. So those of you that started using Canva just to do that, just to make the flyer for your open house that you posted on social media or to make the Instagram graphic, which I know a lot of us are using Canva for, it can do a whole lot more now. And I'm going to show you what it can do. And sort of we're just going to scratch the surface today. we're just going to scratch the surface to kind of get your curiosity and intrigue going. And then again, we're going to go over some examples. The reason why I mentioned how big of a user base it has and the percentage of businesses or large businesses that are using Canva is because this tech is so new, and there are a lot of new apps that are wrapping around ChatGPT and are wrapping around DALL-E that you can invest in your real estate business. And I think that there is something to be said about the fly-by-night apps, tools, pieces of tech that are being sold to us and marketed to us as real estate agents. So as you're making decisions about how to plan your business for 2024, what to invest in, I think that it's worth noting that anytime you're being sold an annual subscription to any of these AI tools, you should take pause. This tech is changing so quickly that from month to month to month, you may buy an annual subscription to a tool that wraps ChatGPT into a tech that you use for your business that's just outdated in a month. An example is Chat with PDF. You could buy into Chat with PDF, upload your PDFs and chat with them through this service, and it was just wrapping ChatGPT into a service. Now ChatGPT or OpenAI is like incorporated that into their base plus subscription plan. So now you can chat with your own PDFs in ChatGPT, and you don't need to buy some third-party software. So if you bought an annual subscription for that, then you probably need to try to get your money back. Anyways, I digress. So this is where we are. Canva is a design powerhouse. Its user base is massive. They just rolled out some generative AI features. We've all been wondering, like, when is ChatGPT going to become multimodal? And with the release of DALL-E 3 and the visual component to ChatGPT, we're sort of approximating this world or this space where we can truly take text and convert it into images, and take images and convert it into text to create video from text and photos, kind of in a weird way. And I don't know why more people aren't talking about it. Canva is quietly behind the scenes doing that. And truth be told, they're leveraging OpenAI's tech in order to do that. But what we're seeing here, and with this recent update, which we'll get into, I promise, Canva's design powerhouse ecosystem is really, like, in my view, it's a multimodal generative AI experience. And why is that important to real estate agents? I feel like 80 to 90% of my daily activities as an agent revolve around communication and learning how to effectively lead my business through effective communication with others. And Canva, just being a design tool, allows me to do that in a way that's in my voice, that's aligned with my brand. And so today, what I want to show you is how you can start dipping your toe into Canva's AI features to do some of the things that we've just been talking about with ChatGPT. If you're just now joining us, I'm going to be sharing my screen in most of this presentation, so hopefully you can follow along. It's going to be recorded, so you can take a look at this video later on. The one thing that I will tell you is that in order to get access to Canva's AI Magic Suite, you need to pay for the subscription. It's $12.99 a month or so. You can do an annual subscription that reduces the monthly cost, or just do it monthly. Right now, I'm on a monthly thing just because I'm non-committal. So it's $12.99 a month. And by the end of today, I think that you'll see that it's worth it. For 13 bucks, you can create so much content, and you can create bulk content for the year. We'll talk about that too. So the new Magic Studio updates. Let me share my screen and show you guys what it looks like. We're going to get there. All right, let's see. One sec. We're working on it. And if you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to drop them in the chat at the end. Even if it's past 3, we'll go through and look at questions and chat about things that you may be wondering. Just want to make sure that I'm showing the right one. All right. All right, you guys see this? Magic Studio?
Yeah.
Cool, perfect. All right. Do you see it getting smushed a little bit? Just want to make sure it's wide enough so that you guys can see the full window.
It's not so much currently, it's still on the Magic Home though.
Okay, I got the screen, you guys. I had multiple screens up, and so I wasn't really sure which one you were seeing. So now, okay, now we're in business. Now I see which one you guys have. All right. So let's dive in here. Let's take a look at Magic Studio. So what you're going to see whenever you sign into your Canva account is a suite of tools that Canva has just wrapped into a single product called Magic Studio. You should be seeing a blue and purple screen right now. Let me know if you're not. This is one of the things that Canva has done that I really like. They have wrapped up, they have about 12 tools, and we'll step through most of them today. And they're calling them all Magic Studio. Now, if you've been playing around with Canva for the last couple of months, you've probably noticed that some of these AI tools have existed before. These aren't all brand new, but in October, they rolled out this wrapper, this product called the Magic Studio, which is their suite of AI tools, AI products that they're using, and they're trying to get some user interaction on. The premise of most of them is that, so most of us are experienced with ChatGPT. It's this chat-based large language model where we can go in, we can type in like we used to do with AOL Instant Messenger and get a response back from the system. ChatGPT doesn't really have any image capabilities like Canva does in this sense. Canva has created a suite of tools that allows us to take text. So we get just chatting with Canva and create presentations. So that's Magic Design. Magic Design is using your text, using a chat to create any sort of different design that you want to create in Canva. So instead of going into Canva and searching through manually with your mouse, clicking through all of the different design options, so an Instagram post, a LinkedIn post, a TikTok post, or a Word document, you can go to Magic Design and you can use your text to tell Canva what kind of design element you want to create. Magic Design for presentations is similar, except it's specific to creating presentations. So this is allowing you to chat with Canva, just using a short 5 to 10 word description of what type of presentation you want to make and create an entire presentation. We're going to get into this in a little bit. The third tool that they've released is Magic Design for Video. Magic Design for Video is exactly what it sounds like. It's like the other two tools, and it allows you to just chat with Canva and create a video from text. So some pretty cool stuff coming from Canva. Magic Write is one that I'm really excited about. I think it's one of the most underutilized, sort of lesser known releases, products that Canva has come out with. One of the biggest complaints that I have, and that most of you share with a lot of the large language models, is very seldom do they sound like you. Very seldom does the response of the large language model carry the same tonality or sound like you would speak to a client in your social media. So Magic Write is paired with and tightly related to brand voice. Canva has released a tool in their system using AI to allow you to build your voice with brand voice and then create content using Magic Write that is based off of your brand voice. So we'll get into that in a second as well. They also have released this set of content transforming features. Magic Switch is really cool because it allows you to take content that you've already created and flexibly repurpose it into new content. So if you go to Canva, and the thing that you usually do is create Instagram posts, you can create your Instagram post as you normally would with Magic Switch. But say you want to take the Instagram post and turn it into a reel for Instagram, or you want to create a PowerPoint presentation based off of this single image. Magic Switch allows you to, literally with just a click of a button, to take that piece of content and basically splash it onto another formatted piece of content. You do still have to make some minor changes, but it really reduces the time that you're spending taking a single piece of existing content and repurposing it for something else. So if you're not already doing a lot of repurposing, this may give you the opportunity, the chance to do that quite easily. They've also released a tool called Magic Animate. This basically allows you to take an image that you've created and animate elements of the image, and then Magic Morph. I played around a little bit with Magic Morph. It's not my favorite, but you can take content, and so we'll see in an example. Basically, if you have text-based content, you can morph the text to look like, if you're using Arial font, you can make the word spelled out using Arial font look like it's a word that's spelled out using pizza slices. So you can morph text-based content lines and shapes into other types of images. They've also released this really cool tool that allows you, they're calling it Magic Media, that allows you to take just with, again, you're just chatting with Canva. You can take a idea that you have for a background or a backsplash, type it into Canva, and it will create that image for you. So this is kind of like the DALL-E features that OpenAI has released, where you can take text and convert it into images. That's using the same platform, but in Canva. So this is really cool. If you're not satisfied with any of the stuff that Canva already has in terms of the existing images, or you just want to create something from your mind's eye, you can do it using Canva's Magic Media tool. They also have a tool that allows you to do the same thing using the same platform, but turn the text into videos. Finally, and these three tools are my favorite tools that they've released within the last couple of weeks. They released some image editing tools, so AI image editing tools. The first is Magic Edit. And this little clip art here, you can see kind of conceptually what it allows you to do is just using your cursor on your mouse, you can highlight things in images that you want to subtract or add to in that image, and you can tell it what to replace an image with using text. Magic Grab is probably one of my next most favorite image editing tools that Canva's released. What it essentially does is it allows you to use as input any image that you want. So basically, if you're working in an Instagram post and you have an image of a living room with a couch in the living room, Magic Grab allows you to, using AI, move the couch around. So previously, if you're working with images, everything in the image is flat, it's static. Magic Grab creates layers within the images and allows you to move some of the layers around. This is all very new tech, and it's changing, it's getting better. Right now, it's not where it's going to be in 3 months, but I think that if you start playing around with these tools, you're really going to see that we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. And another tool that they have in here is Magic Expand. So this is cool. If you've done anything with Adobe Firefly or some of the other more well-known image editing tools, Magic Expand kind of builds on what you've seen with some of these other tools. It allows you to take an image and use a generative fill. So it's taking its knowledge of the background and then expanding that background a little bit more. Now, some of these tools you may never use in your business. Some of them you might. I'm going to show 2 examples here in a little bit about how you can use Canva and DALL-E 3 and ChatGPT to actually do something in your business. So with that, what we're going to do is, why don't we dive into doing something with Magic Design, just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. One of the things that I really like about what they've released here is that with each one of these new tools, the first time you click into them, they give you this really nice summary of what the tool does, how to use it. So what we're going to be doing here is just creating an Instagram post. For example, when you click Magic Design, it's going to, at the very top here, give you, it's going to prompt you to use some text to tell Canva what you want to do. So let's do create a flashy Instagram post for, let's say, flying. And again, I'm just being very, this is live, so let's just see what it does. So the prompt is literally to create a design. That's what you're going to use Magic Design for. And you can use Magic Design to create any sort of design. So it can create a PDF, it can create a PowerPoint presentation, it can create a TikTok ad. The results here, let's see. So the results, what happened? It created 3 different options for me to choose from. And each one of these, I mean, honestly, in 10 seconds, with very little instruction and very little sort of context around what I was aiming for in terms of colors, in terms of presentation, it provided 3 different Instagram posts. Would I use any of these? Probably not. But just the idea, let's see if there's another one that we can pull on as an example. This says create a Black Friday deal themed Instagram post for a clothing store. So you can get the gist. We're using text here to just take an idea that we might have and try to brainstorm different possible outcomes for that idea. In this case, an Instagram post. So what I would probably do is, and you can do this with Canva's Pro subscription, you can create a template for your brand. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see under your content, there's brand templates in which you can tell Canva ahead of time the colors that your brand uses, the fonts that your brand uses, and you can also tell Canva your brand voice, which we'll get to next. So here are some examples. This is a Black Friday ad. So use your imagination here. The point is to be aware of these tools, know they exist, and then take the cream off the top. You know, if there's something in this tool set that works for you in your business and nothing else does, just focus on the thing that does work. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go back to Magic Studio, and we're going to go into Magic Design for presentations. So again, clicking into this, it's giving me a little bit of information about Magic Design for presentations. You're just going to describe your presentation in as little as a couple of words here. So over on the left-hand side, you see this little magnifying glass with some stars on it. We're going to ask Canva to create a presentation about the home buying process for first time. Let's just see what happens. The idea is to use this in areas of your business where you're already, so if you're already creating presentations, or anytime you're thinking like, I don't want to create a presentation, this might lower the activation energy to actually getting that presentation done. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. You're going to have to go in and tweak it, but that's like anything else. So we've got some examples here, and let's click this one. Apply all 7 pages. All right, so just a reminder, all that I asked Canva to do is to create a presentation about the home buying process for first-time home buyers, and the output was this set of 7 slides. I would say that's pretty good given the amount of information and the amount of time that I spent instructing Canva what to do. So if we go in, let's just see what it did here. It just came up with this template. This template is semi-professional looking, semi-attractive looking. It's and frankly, the colors probably fit my brand more than some of the colors of the other templates that we saw earlier. So it says owning home is not just about having a place to live, it's about building a foundation for your future, budgeting for a home, types of mortgages, the home search, make an offer and closing, and thank you for considering us. So it's a very short presentation. Is it perfect? No. And again, would I use it? Probably not. I would probably, my approach to this would probably not be to first go and create a presentation using Magic Design. Some people, that's exactly what they need. I would probably take the approach of just going and finding another template or making a custom template for my presentation. The cool thing about one of the features that I'm going to show you, and we can do it as an example right in here, is Canva's essentially chat GPT'd all of the text in the designs that you're working on. So Magic Write, if you click on your text as you normally would and highlight it, you're not going to get that option. But to show you the Magic Write feature in ChatGPT or Canva's ChatGPT-esque function, you have to click the text box once, and then you'll see this pop-up come up called Magic Write. So if we read this before we do anything else, it says, owning a home is not just about having a place to live, it's about building a foundation for your future and creating a space that truly reflects who you are. Okay, that sounds semi-decent. If you click magic right, you're going to see some options come up. And again, these are essentially all prompts that we would give ChatGPT. So if we had this text just alone in ChatGPT and wanted ChatGPT to do something with it, we would have to type a prompt and have it alter the text. Here, if you just select the text, click magic right, you can ask it to continue writing, which is great. It can continue writing about the benefits of owning a home and what it's like. You could ask it to summarize the text that you've highlighted. You could ask it to rewrite it, make it more fun, make it more formal, or sprinkle fairy dust, which is a lot of fun to do too. So I'm going to have it here choose more fun. Okay, and this is the result. Home is more than just a roof over your head. It's a launch pad for your future and a canvas to express your unique style. That's one option. Let's have it continue writing and see how much text it comes up with. Yeah, we need to pull it down a little bit. All right. So there's a lot of text here. So that's just one option. One of the things that I think that most people don't use Canva for is to create Word documents and to create lots of text-based content. So that's where in a presentation, it doesn't make sense to have a lot of text. So what we'll do here, let me show you the situation in which it might. Let's do create a new design, create a new doc. Most people aren't using Canva to create documents. And I think that as we move into a world where AI is integrated more seamlessly into these types of tools, I think this particular use case of Canva is going to start becoming more common. So one of the things that you can do within Canva to kind of demonstrate, again, this magic write feature is, again, well, I think before I say this, I'm a huge fan of an ecosystem that can accomplish multiple tasks for me rather than having to jump from Google Docs or Word Doc to ChatGPT and back and forth again. So Canva, in its Canva online design platform, has essentially a Google Doc or a Word document section in which you can use ChatGPT. It's already fully integrated into the service. So we're going to create just a really quick and dirty version of a document that's going to help home sellers prepare their home to be sold, or actually to prepare their home to be inspected. So what I'm going to do is click this little plus button here to add magic and click magic right. And Canva is asking me to use 5 or more words to describe what you want to write. So I'm going to say create a 10-item checklist to help home sellers prepare their home for a buyer's inspection. Let's see what happens. So this is essentially a prompt. And ChatGPT and these large language models are really good at lists. They're really good at creating checklists. So that's one of the reasons why I started with this. So it listed my prompt up here, the results here, checklist for preparing your home for a buyer's inspection. It took about, I would say 10 seconds or less. And we have a pretty decently looking checklist, our sellers that are selling their home. It's about to be inspected. So the first item is clean and declutter, check for repairs, test your appliances, check electrical systems. I won't go through the whole list. I think it's important to note, and we should always be doing this whenever we're getting AI generated outputs. Check the validity of what you're getting, make sure it makes sense, use your professional judgment. It's not perfect all the time. It's not always going to be exactly what you need it to be. So it's always good to review. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this up here. And I think it did a pretty good job of coming up with some items that my home seller needs. And we can do the same thing we did before. We can use the magic write function to alter this a little bit. So whenever you're in the doc design in Canva, you do have to select the text manually, unlike when you're in like a presentation or an image, to get access to the magic write. And I'm going to say, let's see if it'll do a more fun rewrite of this. Okay, so what it did was essentially left what it previously created and then created a more fun result. This says, get your home in tip-top shape for that upcoming inspection with these 10 easy steps. And I can't really attest as to whether it's more fun or not, but that's besides the point. So one of the things that you can do is play around with this to get to the point that I was mentioning earlier about brand voice. There's some things, I don't think this checklist is a good example of it, but just to illustrate for demonstration purposes, how you would take your voice and use Magic Write to create novel content in Canva that's more you. What you would do is go to the left here and click brand. And when you're first setting up your brand in Canva, it's going to prompt you for information about your brand voice. You can click brand voice and edit. And in this text box here, Canva literally tells you, describe your brand's unique personality and how you communicate with your audience. Your voice is an important way to attract people to your brand, create connections, and build trust with them. So this, for me, in order to set this up, and we could probably do a whole class on how to set up your brand voice, I would really start in ChatGPT and feed ChatGPT as much data about your voice as possible, using texts, using emails, and then talking about who you are as a brand and who your ideal audience is. And then ask ChatGPT to create a summary of your brand voice, a comprehensive summary of your brand voice. And then I would use that as input into this brand voice box in Canva to teach Canva about my brand voice. And then I would go in and use that just as a basis for creating all of my content in Canva. So in this case, as you saw earlier, I said be very dry and bland, just because I wanted to write something quick. And that's my brand voice. And what you would do is highlight, click generate in this brand voice, generate, and it'll take a second. And it's come up with paragraphs now. Okay, so there's a little bit of a disconnect between the application of the brand voice. If you were doing this from the get-go, just starting with the Magic Write from the beginning, it would have used the actual instructions to create a list. But I think this is one of the really neat features of Canva's AI updates, is that it's allowing us to use basically the large language model to refine, develop, showcase who we are, and then apply that across our designs in our whatever it is that we're creating in Canva. All right, so let's go back to the presentation. I want to show you, it's 2:40 here. So we've got about 15 minutes to go through some of the examples. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of the actual uses of this Magic Studio to edit an image. And to do that, I'm going to go back to the Facebook group really quick and grab an image that Kristen posted the other day. One of the things that most people are complaining about with DALL-E 3 is that it's not the best at text. And text is hard for DALL-E 3 right now. So it's really good at creating images based off of text-based inputs, but whenever those images display text, oftentimes there are misspellings, and I'll be honest with you, the misspellings are really frustrating because it really stinks to have a beautiful image with a misspelling on it and to not be able to use it. And I spent more hours than I care to admit in Illustrator and even just with some image editing apps on my phone trying to correct misspellings. So I was really excited whenever I discovered this tool within Canva's AI Magic Studio that allows you to correct misspellings in images. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing that you need is an image with a misspelling in it, or an image that you want to put text on. But we're going to start with an image with a misspelling. So I'm going to go into, we're just going to create an Instagram post. I'm going to go through here, try Magic Design. It really doesn't matter what type of design it is, because I just want to show you what can happen to the image. We'll click this first one, customize this template, upload this image from Kristen. Let's see where it went. So Kristen created a really cool birthday card for one of her colleagues, and she did it using ChatGPT or DALL-E 3 in OpenAI's product. So let me show you what that looks like. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see this amazing little vector graphic that Kristen created using ChatGPT and DALL-E 3. And you can also see one of the glaring issues with it, which is that there's a misspelling. And it's super frustrating because normally in order to fix this, thankfully with this particular image, the background is, there's no gradients. It's a very clean background. You could probably just like get rid of that little I there after the T pretty easily. But you can also go into the Magic Studio edit photo option here. And there's this really convenient, handy function called grab text. And this is only available in Magic Studio. So if you have the pro version and you've got an image that needs correcting, you can click grab text. And Canva's AI software is going to detect text in the image. And you can see here that now, whereas before this was just a flat image, it's now highlighting the text that it detected. And in this particular example, it's actually giving us the ability to edit the text. So whenever you click search for text, now it's highlighted, it's released from the image. We just click delete, and now it says happy birthday. We can actually move it around too. So the original image that was created by ChatGPT, or DALL-E 3 for that matter, was this. Nothing is editable here. This is all just like, you know, it's a flat thing, which isn't great for really correcting stuff that's an error. So in order to get there, we just clicked edit photo, grab text. Now the font changed, right? So it's not perfect. It's not creating a new font for us, but it is giving us the ability to, one, remove it completely and add our own font. Maybe we don't like the font that it created, or maybe we just want to quickly edit it, correct it grammar-wise, and then save that and send it to our friend. So a lot of people in the Facebook group have been posting some really cool examples of using DALL-E 3 to create content for their sphere, whether it's other agents in their office, celebrating milestones, celebrating years in business milestones, celebrating birthdays, celebrating special occasions. A lot of the times when those pieces of content have been created, there's weird misspellings. This is an example which you'll laugh at. I was creating a children's coloring book about the process of buying and selling a home. And one of the graphics that DALL-E 3 created looked like this, which I was like, oh, that's so cool. The images and the colors and the vibrancy of this graphic are amazing. But look at the number of misspellings here. Join the journey and Kaloyo or your home. So one of the things that you can do with the Magic Studio is grab the text, and it will, again, it's not going to create a new font and just replace the existing font with an as-is font once you do this. So you'll have to edit it, but it does give you the ability to totally remove it from the image. And now I have this blank canvas that I can go in and customize. So the idea with this, and this is an idea that came from the group, is to create something of value for children that are working with families that belong to families that are moving. Moving is hard for kids. So how do you involve them in the process? Well, this is a coloring book. And one of the things that I was struggling with was, how do I correct these misspellings without becoming a graphic design artist or really becoming a pro at Photoshop? Okay, so we need more time to go over all the other ones, because what I do want to do before we end today and start looking at questions is I want to show you how you can create 52 pieces of content for your business. And since we only really have 5 minutes, I'm going to do it in 5 minutes or less. And we're going to do that using ChatGPT and Canva. The first thing that we're going to do, now that we're switching gears a little bit, well, we're going to come back to Canva, I promise. We're going to go into ChatGPT, So here, and one of my favorite, so just backing up a little bit, Canva is great at ideation. ChatGPT is great at ideation. It's the best brainstorming partner you'll ever have. And one of the things that it's really good at is helping you brainstorm content for your business. There's a lot of background that we could do before we get into this, but I'm just going to kind of do a one shot at creating a list of 52 pieces of content for my business that I can go and create social media posts for. And one of my favorite prompts for doing that is the lesser known facts prompts. You're going to find a lot of people out there who will promise you the perfect prompt that creates content for you. I'm not that person. My MO with all of this is to do what you can. So this prompt is not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little bit messy. It's just going to be me doing it live. And I encourage you guys to whenever you're trying to create ideas or brainstorm things, don't try to be perfect. Just get it out there. Just get it into ChatGPT. It will do the work. So the lesser known facts prompt is something like this, just from memory. Create a list of 52 lesser known facts. This is gonna, it could literally be about anything. You could ask it for a list of 52 quotes or 52 facts about the home buying process or 52 facts about what it's like to sell a house, anything. I'm gonna choose my hometown, Asheville, North Carolina. So create a list of 52 lesser known facts about my hometown, Asheville, North Carolina. I've already used up like 2 minutes of the 5 minutes that I promised you. All right.
Could everybody mute, please?
Yeah, I can go in and help out with that, I think. While it's creating the list of 52 prompts, or 52 facts rather, I think we're muted. This is ChatGPT at its finest, just coming up with a list of some really detailed pieces of information about my hometown, Asheville. Okay, so the important thing here is to not be perfect, right? This is just getting us off the ground. I mean, how long does it take you to create a single Instagram post? I mean, that's relevant to where you are, to who you are, to what you're trying to. It takes a good amount of time. It's not a negligible amount of time for sure. So ChatGPT does an amazing job at helping you just get your ideas off the ground. If you have an idea or like an inspiration for a series of pieces of content for your business, work with ChatGPT to really fully flesh it out. This isn't fully fleshed out by any means, but this is a really good low-hanging fruit sort of piece of content that I can create for my business. All you're going to do is take the 52, copy and paste them, right? And you're going to go into your favorite spreadsheet program. I'm going to use Google Sheets. We're going to create a new spreadsheet. And you're going to take those 52 pieces of content that you just copied from ChatGPT. You're going to paste them into Google Sheets. Rename this 52 lesser known facts about Asheville. You're going to download this as a CSV. Downloaded. Now we're going to go to Canva. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to create 52 pieces of content. We're going to go to Canva. I'm going to find an Instagram square. I'm going to find like a semi-attractive, let's do like we're not going to use Magic Design really, but let's see what quote Instagram post templates look like. So the goal is to find something that kind of reflects your brand voice. I'm going to just choose this one right here. Never stop working towards your dreams. It's really not important the way it looks right now, but I just want to demonstrate for example purposes what this can look like. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to alter this template on this first slide here to look exactly like what you want it to look like on all the 52 posts. So you want to get rid of any text that needs to be updated. I'm going to put in my hashtag. If you have any hashtags that you want to use, you can put them there. It doesn't really make sense to do that, but any way that people can contact you. Then I'm going to take this and we'll leave that alone for now. What you can do is go over to bulk create, upload CSV, find the CSV file that you just uploaded, it says one data field identified. The identified data field is the first piece of content in that CSV file. And let's see what's going on here. We're going to click connect data, click that first field that's identified, and it's filled in that text field with the first piece of content in the CSV file. I'm going to resize this a little bit because it's big, and this is something that you'll just have to play with based on the size of your pieces of content. So the length of these sentences here can be reduced in ChatGPT depending on the prompt that you use. So I would play with that a little bit, but let's go back to where we were. There we go. And you want to make that small so that it's readable. Once you've done that, you've assigned this text field to the data field in your CSV file. Click continue. You can see that now it has all 52 pieces of content. We're going to click generate. It's going to open up a new screen. And now in this project, we have 52 slides with every single piece of content created. So what I would do, and there's a lot of different formats for a post, right? But in order to make this a little bit more interesting and a little bit more relevant, I wouldn't have this look the same on each one. You could, some people do that. I would probably delete the background. This template won't allow me to do it, but I would change the image in the background to look or reflect whatever is being talked about in the actual post. And then you can just bulk download these and then schedule them using your favorite scheduler. You already got the content. You could even in the description, or in ChatGPT, you could ask ChatGPT to help write descriptions for each one of these posts. So that's 52 pieces of content. Now, for me, the thing that takes the longest is really this process of creating the actual image and then downloading that. So hopefully that saves you some time. We're getting very close to 3, so I'll just stop talking. And if anyone has any questions or any thoughts, wonderments, hopefully this was helpful. Again, all of this is really just tip of the iceberg. We will do several deep dives into some of these AI features in Canva throughout the next couple of weeks. If you have any ideas or things that you want to learn, let us know, because we would love to step through those ideas with you. And if you've done it yourself and you've got something that you want to share with the group, let us know. I'm going to take a look at the comments here to see if we've got any questions. Michael had to go to dinner. That's cool. Yeah, DALL-E 3, we can. So to get to DALL-E 3, you need Plus, ChatGPT Plus, and you'll get to it using, I suffer from this problem where I have too many windows open. I don't know if any of you guys suffer from that illness, but it makes it incredibly challenging to navigate when you're trying to share screens. So to get to DALL-E 3, you click New Chat, and then under GPT 4.0, you hover over the 4, and then you get down here and you can toggle between default, browse with Bing, advanced data analysis, or DALL-E. Very soon, and this update has been it's been rolling out over the past couple of weeks, we're not going to have to switch between modes in GPT-4. So OpenAI is releasing an update to the Plus or Pro version of ChatGPT that allows you to, in this single instance here, not have to switch between default or Bing or plugins or DALL-E 3. It's all going to be one, which I'm super excited about, and also simultaneously sad about because I don't have access to that yet, but I'm excited. You know, it's one of those incremental improvements. It's just sort of like a quality of life thing. We've gotten so used to switching between these, I don't even really think about it anymore. But there are a lot of times when I'm working in DALL-E 3 or working in the advanced data analysis tab, so to speak, if you will, that I wish I had access to the other one and I didn't have to start a new conversation. Because right now you have to start a new conversation in order to go from one of these models to another one, which is a problem. It's a problem. not a huge problem, but it is a problem in terms of the user experience. Well, I hope that was helpful. If anyone has any questions, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. And
Hey, Dylan, I have a question.
yeah.
Thank you. Actually, someone else put this in the chat, and I was curious your response on this. What's your favorite scheduler for social media?
I don't actually use a scheduler right now. I used to use a scheduler. And one of the reasons why the reason why is because I always had a problem with throughput. And so I'm an idea person and I had no problem coming up with the ideas. My bottleneck for me was actually creating the content. So that's why I'm really excited about these AI tools. My problem was I didn't have the stuff to schedule. And and we've talked about this in this group before, having the idea plus this AI brainstorming partner, I think for a lot of people is going to solve that problem of that there's this gap between having the idea and getting your content out there. And I think ChatGPT and the large language models are helping a lot of people go from idea to content a lot more quickly and with a lot less time spent doing it. For me, that was the case. So when I first started on social media, I did have a scheduler and I was creating calendars, but it became a situation where I had to start working in my business. I had to go to showings and inspections and negotiations. And so the time available to schedule content, the first thing to go was scheduling content. So I stopped using a scheduler. Now that I'm really starting to plan things out in the future, especially as it relates to content, I do see myself looking again at schedulers. But really the hard part isn't finding a scheduler. There's a ton out there. The hard part is having 365 days of content and having a content calendar that you follow. And I think these tools allow you to get a lot better at following these systems and rules and being in the game in that way. So Devin, I don't have a favorite one right now. I saw that question. What is your favorite one?
Sorry if it's a little bit loud in here, but I have just been using Facebook Meta right now. I did look into several options, but I didn't really want to pay the monthly fee if I didn't need to, and Meta comes free. I too have the issue of, I have to actually manually go and schedule it. And I am doing that. And I've been trying to find like this bulk create method is a great opportunity to basically have like a theme of like, as you said, lesser known fact, like have a fact Friday or something. And then you can create those in advance all ahead of time. And then like, have several days of the week where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna, whatever's happening this week, I'll allow myself to create a post for there. So that's what I've been doing, and like having days that I'm like, okay, I'll have like a under contract opening here, and then trying to create an advance for everything else. And so I'm just in the thick of that right now, but was just curious if you had a scheduler preference.
My favorite tool is the one that I use. It's the one that you use. I don't think that really the tools are all that different. It's just the one that you stick with, and free is always really nice. Always really nice.
Didn't I have a question?
Is anyone using Canva to schedule out? Is anyone using Canva to schedule out their post?
Okay. I have another question, Dylan. I like the byte generation. One question is there a way to have automatically different background?
So do you mean in the bulk create?
Yes.
So the way that you would do it in bulk create is once you would choose a template that has like a border with, an image in the background or something like that. And then you would go and you would replace the image in each one of the posts.
Okay. Or keep it white and then you can add a picture, but just to simplify our life, like, because I know with the AI, new stuff are coming every day, probably. So I'm sure someone has created it, but we need to know how.
That's a great question. If someone has created, I'd love to know. I don't know of a way to kind of recursively have Canva look at another data field in the CSV file and create a new image based off of that. because you would have to assign the like the photo element of the design would have to be a data field that Canva can detect. And then you'd have to have 52 images created based off of whatever's in the CSV file and have that data field replaced according to the result. So I think that the capability is there. I don't think that it's actually a functionality of Canva presently.
Okay, thank you.
That makes sense. But you can do what I did with bulk create 52 posts and then go through and just add in, like, if one of the posts is about yoga, go find one of the stock photos of someone doing yoga and put it in there and go in and just kind of make each one look a little bit different. So it's interesting.
Okay, so you should be easily able to interchange any background picture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, easy is relative. I think that with the bulk create, it definitely helps you save time with creating 52 posts with different. The hard part is taking the text and copying and paste it 52 times into different slides. Once you're there in Canva, you have access to all the images that Canva has. You can also upload your own if you have some hyperlocal images of where you live, whatever, what have you, and upload those as backgrounds. But once you've created those 52 different slides, you can do with them what you would normally do with any sort of Instagram post that you're working on in Canva, or any type of post for that matter that you're working on.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope this was helpful, and I want to let you know if you have time tomorrow too, we're going to be talking about 7 ways to get started using ChatGPT in your real estate business. Today was a little bit different than most days where Dylan is kind of showing a tool. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about 7 ways that we can use ChatGPT, 7 ways that we can pick it up to do some really, really efficient, low-level things, but things that make a big difference in our businesses. So if you have time to pop in, say hi, and add in your 2 cents about how you're using ChatGPT in your business, I think it'll be really helpful, especially for those that are new to using AI and are just learning the capabilities of the tool in their business. So with that, I'll stick around, but everyone, it was a pleasure seeing you. There's a lot of new faces here. Thanks for introducing yourself, and hope to see you guys again soon.
Thanks, Dylan.
Hey guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. That was great. See you guys.
What time is that tomorrow? The same time or?
Same time. Yep. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern.
All right. In the same link?
It's a different link. It's the Friday link, but it's in the event for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm new. Is there a place where the schedule is listed or for these Zooms?
Yeah. So we have there's an events page in the Facebook group that has a list of the recurring events. Our recurring events are on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and the topics change depending on what people want to talk about. We want these open Zooms to really be a mastermind and an open sort of conversation rather than a presentation per se. But on Thursdays and Fridays at 2, that's when we get together on Zoom. And then moving forward, we're going to probably have more structured kind of topics that we talk about, but also people from the industry come in and share with us the different ways that AI is currently being integrated into technologies that real estate agents are using, CRMs, social media platforms. So we'll have more content like that. We post in the Facebook group when the events are happening, and there's also like a event slide that we post. But right now, Thursdays 2, Fridays at 2.
Okay, I'm trying to remember how I got here. I'm sure it was through one of the groups. I'm a member of 2 groups: ChatGPT for real estate agents and ChatGPT and AI Mastermind for real estate.
So this is the ChatGPT and AI Mastermind for real estate.
Great, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks for today. I'm going to go, y'all.
Thanks,
yeah.
Joel,
Yeah,
for
thanks
asking
being here.
because I didn't know where I had found it either.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
So
do you know how you found the group, or?
I must. So there's a gentleman who who does Chat GPT, and Don Mendez.
Mhm.
And I think I thought that I was on that same group. And I saw your face and I went, he's not John. I just found it, you taught it very differently. He is so quick that it was hard to grasp. So you just, show me, sometimes seeing it and watching you actually implement is a huge learner for people. And that just helped me immensely. So thank you. I will be paying attention to your group more often.
Well, that's really helpful feedback, Mary. I mean, Kristen is not here, but she's the other person that's helping and heavily involved in the group. And there is a lot of content online right now that is very like 5 seconds, flashy, like AI can change the world. And what we really want to do in this group is bring it in, say, okay, like this is how you actually do it. This is what its limitations are, but this is what you can do. And then to actually step through and do it. And with sometimes our Thursdays and Fridays will feel faster. And sometimes we'll just drill down into one topic and go deep and slow. I'm a huge fan of slow. So especially when it comes to new technology, the goal isn't to impress anyone or yes, the technology is impressive, but the goal is for you to actually feel like I can go do this thing better now. And so that I really appreciate the feedback that you gave. And we're trying to do that better as well.
Yeah, this was definitely because it is something that's so fast moving and you're just not sure where to start. So now, just in today's class alone, I know where to start, and I feel, like I'm empowered enough to be able to start and not worry about making a mistake. So,
yeah.
And my assistant was on here too, and she's a virtual assistant, and we were talking about this. I said, I know that there's a way that we can, set this up we can do something every single week. So this was really great, and I appreciate your time.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you and a pleasure being here with you. And if you have any questions as you guys start to implement, or if you run into any wrinkles, let us know, because I guarantee you there are like 50 of you that are trying to and having the same problem. If you run into anything, regardless of what step of the process it is, we're all getting our skill level up with this. And there's no such thing as being an expert in AI right now. Everyone's learning. We are all right here,
Right.
Cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.